Hi guys. Today I thought I'd discuss preparing your own fruit and veg mix for your dogs, and this, of course, is raw fruit and veg. And because it's raw, you do have to involve a small amount of water, so you don't bust your blender. But it's a very because it comes down to mush. Really, it's a very easily digestible way for dogs to eat fresh veg. Now I'll be using apple, carrots, um, sweetheart cabbage, but don't use the thick, waxy outer leaves. I have those. Um, some red pepper and Zed's favourite, sugar snap peas, of which she has loads. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because you don't want to watch me chopping all this, because that takes the time, I'll pause the video, because I can. And I'll chop and then I'll show you me blending it, okay, and what you get at the end and about adding water. Right, hopefully this is running again because I'd be fed up if I do all of this and it doesn't work. Okay, so I have sliced and diced. Now, you want to do the juicy, like the apple and carrot and red pepper first because it's got some juice in it, okay? So I just pop it into my blender cup thing. Right, just a word on apples. You don't have to peel them, but don't put the pips in. Apple pips contain very tiny amounts of cyanide. I mean, look, you'd have to give so many apples that it's ridiculous, but I'd rather just not do it. Now, at this point, that's apple, carrot, and red pepper. That's red bell pepper, and no seeds in there either. You can vary this depending. I mean, sometimes I use beetroot. I don't use spinach because it doesn't suit Zed. But this is down to your individual dog, and you're going to have to work out what veg and what fruits. Blueberries they use a lot. Don't suit Zed, but this is Zed we're talking about. So now I'm just going to get my big syringe. Where's my big syringe? Water. Going to get water. Now, obviously, look, you don't want to bust your machine and you have to add water. So I've got 20 mils here, which I'm just going to put in to start with. I'll refill it. What did I put in there? 20, so I'll put another 10. Depending on your blender, and there are other ones available on the market, and there's no sponsorship here. I think you guys know me well enough. Make sure it's tight enough on the bottom so it doesn't go everywhere. Now, what I do is I put it on a pulse to start with, okay? And as usual, I whack everything around. Hello, Zed. Hope you can see, because it's the best video angle I could get, people. Let's stand this side. No, I don't think it makes it any better, does it, peeps? So you just want a pulse. And then just give it a little shake. Because, these things are for making smoothies, really. Let's just be really honest about that. And if you need to add more water, you can. Which I do. I need to add more water here, most definitely. So slap it down a bit. Where's my syringe? I hope you can see what I'm doing. Definitely need more water. So I'll chuck whatever else. It all depends very much on how much juice is in your apple, but you're still going to have to add water because you'll just burn out your engine otherwise, your motor engine. Why is this not working? You see now that okay. Now I doubt very much we're going to need any more water than that. Just slap it about a bit. And you can see it's quite runny. But you know, you just have it makes it more digestible and you're giving them more fluid, which at this time of year is never a bad thing. Or any time of year really, in my opinion. Now I'm going to add the green stuff. It's a lovely colour, look. Absolutely lovely colour. It's not too bad actually. So now I'm just going to add the greenery straight into there. And please remember you can, oh that's sweet. You can always make more, but you can't take it away and you don't want to overload your blender. And don't overheat it. I mean, this one you can run for 1 minute before you've got to stop it. So now hopefully I shouldn't need any more water. It's ever so nice. I have to say it before I put the green stuff in it. I love it. Still. See, I do eat people. It's not very often. Right. So as you can see, I put the greenery in. Now we're going to go back onto pulse, and you want to knock down what you've already done. Right. Now as you can see, that's now quite thick. Sorry about my real cruddy kitchen, but it is over 25 years old and I'm not in charge of maintenance. And I hate cleaning. Like I got the energy for cleaning when I've got a dog. Okay, so I've got my spatula out now. It's not quite there yet, but I just want to get it all off around the edges and push it all down and give it a little stir around. Because now it's quite thick. I mean, look, you see it is thick. So I'm kind of pushing my luck a bit, but there's no heat in my blender thing. And I just want to, because there's no blades in here, you can actually get in there and stir it around a bit so that you're helping the machine out. Now I chop everything as small as I possibly can so the machine does not have to work as hard as it would have to if you put whole veg or whole fruits in here, which you can do, I suppose, if you put enough water in it. But I don't want to put too much water in if I can possibly help it. Right, let's give that another shot. And obviously you're going to get some on your blades that, what are they kind of called? Cyclonic blades. Tech term for you. Right, so we've got to knock it down again because there's no blades at the top, obviously. Yeah, don't be ridiculously harsh with it, but just smack it about a bit. And to pulse with these, just put your hand on the top. It comes in the instructions. Now you heard that starting to struggle then. That wasn't anywhere near a minute either. Yes, hello, Zedley. Don't be worried about you. She was naughty this morning. You were, weren't you? She goes, Mummy, don't tell them. You were naughty. Let's have a look at that. Do I think that's blended enough for you? I think so. Let me just have a look. I said, mate, it went on the floor there. Look. Licky, licky. Thanks, hon. No waste in this house. I tend to just go through it one more time just to make sure that everything is blended. Please remember, dogs cannot digest carrots unless they are blended. I mean, some dogs can do, digest them grated. Zed cannot. She hasn't got a cast iron stomach. I think that's good enough. I mean, we could put it through one more time, maybe. Do you want me to put it through one more time, Mummy? She goes, Mummy, it's not as orange as the last lot. No, I'll put more sugar snap peas in there, your favourite. I'll give it one more quick little blast. But, I take this down really a long way because of Zed's tummy. Most dogs won't need this much. I mean, most people, you could leave it at this state of affairs. It's the only thing with having blades at the bottom, like having to turn it up. That's the one thing I don't like about it, but this is what it is. Right, that isn't going to go anymore, so I'm going to try again, but I should do it anyway. And don't do what I just did, which is lift it up whilst it's still rotating. Right, that is now done. Okay, so you're going to need someone to put it in. You're going to need one of these. Now, luckily, her food comes in these sometimes. So, obviously, tip it up, knock it all out. This is a step-by-step guide. I mean, this is the healthiest way to give your dogs fruit and veg. That you can Google suitable fruit and veg for dogs. I'm not going to list it all because there's a lot. I mean, pumpkin's very popular round about November. I wonder why. So, yeah, this is the finished result. We just tip it into there and pop it in the freezer. You can then slice off if you've got a sharp knife and a hammer, because it does break up quite easily, just take off enough for a few days and keep it in your fridge. Keep it refrigerated. That's what I do. It's not going to go off. And when it does defrost, you might get a little bit of separation of that water, but don't worry about it. Just mix it in because it'll still have nutrients in it, that bit of water or juice or fluid, whatever you want to call it. And, it's just excellent. And remember, when you give veg to dogs, you're trying to replicate roughly what would be in a rabbit's stomach. So it's not a lot. I mean, in each meal you'd add no more than what's on the end of the spatula there. About a teaspoon. So the rest of this is just me poking around and being OCD about getting as much out of here as I can, because every little bit costs money, people, and, waste not, want not, and all of that. So, yeah. Anyway, so there you go. That's how you make your really healthy fruit and veg of choice for your dogs. And there you are. That's the, it's nice and, it's just good. Right? Can you see that that's really, really, really well blended? You wouldn't know what had gone in there, and that's how it should look. If you have to make it sloppier with more water, that's fine as well, okay? So don't go beating yourself up trying to get perfect veg fruit and veg, you know, that consistency. It doesn't matter if it's runnier at all. You know, it doesn't just have to be raw fed dogs. This is an excellent way of adding good quality fresh, because this is fresh veg that I bought yesterday. This isn't, you know, discounted veg that's, you know, that'll do for the dog. No, 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 no. It's fresh fruit and veg, okay? And I keep everything in the fridge, all wrapped up in kitchen roll to stop it getting mildew or mouldy or going off or getting soft. As a tip for you, wrap all your veg and fruit in kitchen roll. So there you go. That is how you do it. I hope that's been some help for you. Dogs on kibble, you can add some of this, and because of the apple in it, it's sweet, and the dogs will love it because of that sweetness. All right. Okay, people, take care. Bye for now.